What things do Americans like and the rest of the world not so much? MMDDYYYY date format grinning face with sweat. Root beer and ranch dressing. I brought some to Germany and had my friends try it and they said the root beer tasted like medicine. They politely tasted the dressing with a celery and said interesting, but the look on their faces was that it was terrible. My sister is visiting the US from Europe and sent me a picture of a small Coke and asked why is it so big? I could see Old Glory flapping in the wind, boys. Ice. Filled till the brim before you pour any drink. Cheerleaders. College sports. Particularly football and basketball. The rest of the world loves soccer, but nobody gives a hoot about it at the university level. Root beer. 24-hour stores. I was in Chicago working with a colleague from Switzerland who suddenly realized around midnight that he needed a network cable to configure a mobile router for a job the next morning. I told him that I'd meet him in the hotel lobby to drive him out to Walmart. He was happily surprised, as he had forgotten about the famous chain of Walmart stores. This used to be much more prevalent in the US, but food coloring. When I moved from Japan to the US, I was surprised at how colorful their foods were. These days Americans are now more keen to organic natural stuff, so I see it less, but it took me a while to realize that blue raspberry is not a real thing. Imperial units and Fahrenheit. Bankruptcy laws. It's a major reason why America has historically had some of the highest rates of small business growth and entrepreneurship. America is one of the most forgiving countries when it comes to personal and corporate bankruptcy, student loans notwithstanding. Comparatively, European countries are much more pro-creditor, which severely hampers any sort of investment that's even somewhat risky. Big trucks. Peanut butter and jelly. Waffles with chicken. Flags. So many American flags everywhere. Ranch dressing. Free public restrooms. I know they're gross, but they are nice to have. Goddamn delis. At least out of all the places I've traveled to, the US by far has the best delis. I don't know if I can live somewhere without a great Jewish or Italian deli. Biscuits and gravy. Bumper stickers. American football. Ice water. Handicap accessibility. Old buildings. Towns in Europe are nice, if both your legs work. Driving everywhere. Anywhere you go in a car. But I suspect for many, other options are so rare they don't think about them even if they do exist. Americanized Chinese food. No one has us beat in that category. Free soda refills at dine-in places. My mother British thought casseroles were weird and disgusting. Once her British friend came to visit, and asked that we not go to a restaurant where all the food is mixed together in an awful jumble. I love most casseroles. Garbage disposals. Just shove that turkey carcass in the disposal and run some warm water behind it. Ranch dip. Corn syrup. According to Brazilians at the Rio Olympics, they can tell who's American because we had beach towels, drank a whole bunch, and kept our areas trash free. Marching bands. If you'd played the flute in a marching band at my school you would have gotten pelters, but in the US you can become a state hero. Just finished my master's in handicap discrimination, and holy shit, for once the US completely flat out beats Scandinavia on a human rights issue. We are so far behind the US and our legislation is pretty much trying to be what the US did decades ago. Guns, processed foods, big cars, trucks. The Grateful Dead. Lawns. Crossovers and big SUVs. It would be so nice if we could get some of the smaller economical cars that other markets around the world get. Light beer. Commercials about pharmaceutical pills. Ask your doctor about taking XYZ, side effects can include everything. Wild. Hershey's. I'm very skinny, and whenever I get an English tourist coming up to me at work I feel like I'm vindicating my entire country. I work in the south of Florida in a touristed town, so I get a lot of Europeans. National parks. America's greatest achievement. Walking inside the house with shoes on.